Hey, Alana of Prosperity Alignment. I just got out of the shower, which is where I have the most beautiful realizations and awareness that comes through. Maybe you have that experience as well. Somehow I was taken back to remembering as a kid how my will center was in place. Now I am a projector and I have the 3740 channel of community from the emotional solar plexus to the will center. I also have the 6447, the head and ajna channel of abstraction. So I have this split in my chart. My mom, my dad, and my brother, none of them had a defined will. I was the only one who had a defined will. And what came through is remembering, and having such emotion around it too. I used to talk about how when I would get older, I'm going to have all of these pictures of myself around my house. And how I was met with such egotistical and selfishness, like being told, oh, how ego, what, you just want to look at yourself, right? To now recognize right now in my 40s what that really meant. So being a projector, not seeing myself, right? It's so much easier for me to see you, to see the world around me. I've even learned to repress my voice when I talk about myself because I wanted to keep that down. And to recognize and remember what the intention really was behind that. That having the will center is not always ego and it is not selfish. It can be selfless to actually want to take care of ourselves so we have more to give to others. So of course I didn't do this. I didn't surround myself with pictures of myself like apparently I knew I should as a kid. Why? Because I already gave my power away. And I believed I shouldn't do that. Who am I to be selfish and to want to see myself? The emotional part is because how many of us never see ourselves? We don't want to see who we really are. We don't even want to look at pictures of ourselves because then it's criticism comes forward. Of all we see is what's not good enough and what's not perfect. I recognize now that what if I surrounded myself with pictures so I could truly see myself? To see, am I happy? Because guess what? My head will certainly say, oh, you're happy. You're okay. But I wasn't. Maybe I would have seen early on in my first marriage, I wasn't happy. If I had surrounded myself with pictures so I could externalize and see Alana for who she is rather than it being all jumbled inside, to not see myself and where I was and what I was feeling, I would have seen myself differently. And maybe you would see yourself differently too. If you took a step back to look at the beautiful you, all of these great, amazing parts of yourself, and to actually see, wow, look how radiant you are. Look how beautiful you are. Look how happy or unhappy you are. Ooh, you're not glowing here. What's going on? What needs to change? This is revolutionary. It's not ego to put pictures of yourself. It's a way to connect with yourself in a different perspective, in a different way, to see who you really are and where you're dipping down and moving away from your path, and knowing or not knowing if you're actually aligned with where you are in your world. Maybe you're not happy in your relationship, in your life, in your house, in your career. Think of all the people in the pandemic who weren't happy. And it was such a shift and a wake-up call What if we could see ourselves through this new lens of love? Not through the ego of, oh, this is me, and then criticize ourselves and pull ourselves apart. But what if you actually did see yourself and put yourself in pictures and not just try and glorify them as a selfie and try to make yourself look the way you think you should look, but to really see yourself as who you are and what you really do look like? Emotions coming forth, your feelings, the qualities of yourself you can't even physically see right here, but you can feel it, because then you're going to know if you're aligned and your intention is clear for the world to pick up from who you really are. Not what you think you want them to see, but that they really see these golden aspects and parts of yourself. They love you because you love you. And I now realize, 30 years later, it would have never been ego of me to do what I knew as a kid, which is to surround myself with myself and fulfill myself so I had more to give, so I could be the best I could be, and I could share that with others. I would absolutely love to know how this message impacts you, and to know, do you see yourself for the beautiful, amazing light that you are? And are you radiating your light and shining it the way that you want to? And if you truly take a step back and look at yourself and an image of yourself, what can you notice that you never noticed before? And can you love all these parts of yourself? I love you. I honor you. I respect you. Thank you for being you. Bye for now.